And speaking of Tony Stark, people were here now. We're here now with the, oh, I can't relate to black woman, so why are you changing Tony Stark to a black woman? I can't relate to that. Stop being, what is it called? Socially correct? Me, collecting a white rich man child. A white rich man child. Me, I relate to Tony Stark. How can I relate to Tony Stark but you can't relate to a black girl? Hi, I'm Glee, and I'm an octopus today. Today we're going to be talking about. Okay, if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of yeah. There's more. There's more, you guys. There. I collect a little bit of stuff from my favorite adventure. It's not that much. It's not that much for like a collector, at all. And I got this picture up there, over there, that my friend framed for me. So yeah. I am a IronMan fan, and 1 is Iron Man, 2 is Harry Potter, 3 is Samus Aran, but not in the Zero suit. So this title is basically a clickbait title to get you idiots in, the people that complain about, oh, why do you have to change every, main character into a black character? Why can't you make new characters? We'll get into that later on. But my excitement for Riri. New Iron Man is a 15-year-old black woman. 15-year-old black woman. 15-year-old woman. 15 woman. Since when was a woman 15-year-old? Teen. She's not 19, close to womanhood. Like 21 is basically the womanhood thing. You could smoke, you could rent a car, I think. She's not even 18 either. And what is this? Comicbook.com called her a woman. And that's how I found out that this will be. This is the thing with black bodies. If you've seen the past news on how we're treated, black women. So that means I was never a kid. I was never deemed a kid. Like, I can never be a child when I hit my teens. It's child and then woman. Why can't black bodies ever be, useful or childlike? Why are, if we're just a little bit tall, we're basically a man or a woman. We can never be just teens or children. And I think that's why we're killed more, because you have sympathy for children and sympathy for dogs because they can never grow old enough to think for themselves. We can never be teens because soon as we hit teens, that means we are adults now. We could decide for ourselves. We should know to not play with toy guns in the park alone because we're dangerous, even though most of these places are open carry states. But we're not going to be talking about that. We're talking about Riri and her not being able to be a teen. A freaking genius. A genius. 15. Made her own suit. Was thrown out at MIT. But she's not a teen. She's a woman to you people. She's never going to be a teen, Why can't Riri be a teen? Why can't she be a child? Like, a teen is the best time to make mistakes, and especially when you're writing for a character as a teen, Spider-Man is a teen and forever will be a teen. She's not a woman. She's not a woman yet. She haven't made those mistakes. She's a genius, but being a genius doesn't mean you're an adult. Look at Tony Stark. He's a man-child. And speaking of Tony Stark, people were here now. We're here now with the, oh, I can't relate to black woman, so why are you changing Tony Stark to a black woman? I can't relate to that. Stop being, what is it called? Socially correct? Me, collecting a white rich man child. A white rich man child. Me, I relate to Tony Stark. How can I relate to Tony Stark but you can't relate to a black girl? Because you're not used to it, because you've never been there. And that's the point of changing well-known characters to characters that you never really thought of watching. I mean, if she came out with her own comic, you will never pick that up. You'll never give her a chance because you can never relate to a black woman. Yet every person of color that's been into comics since the beginning of time have been relating to white men and women. Green woman because of She-Hulk. Oh, and green men because of Hulk. How come people of color, or let's say black people, could relate to all the white men and women out there, but you can't relate to a black woman? It is not, and I'm sure this comic is not going to be about blackness. They're going to try to hint at blackness, and that's another thing. Another writer that's writing about a black female that he never experienced. Most people that's supportive of black women will have a black woman on stand. I mean, yeah, I know. They're doing this for shock value. They're doing this to be politically correct. You know, because it's a white man writing for a black woman. If he was for justice, he will have a black woman writing it, because a black woman know how to black woman. This is a ploy to get more readers, and that's fine to an extent, and I'm happy forcing on people. I don't mind it forcing on people, because it's not our fault that you barred us from being great at comics. We've been barred. We never got the jobs, and if you think that there's no black comic creators out there, you are very racist. You're extremely racist. There are many comic book writers out there that are black and make black characters, but it can't get out there because who took the top tiers and who took the business? White men took the business, and they would bar anyone else to get in because, you know, white men, and then you bring in someone you know, and then you bring someone that looks like you, and people that lives around you. Sometimes it's not just picking some black person. Sometimes it's the people around them, and then, you know, bring this person in, you know, kind of like a firefighter, like, you know, in the family business kind of way. That's how firefighters stay white for a very long time. But they don't understand black writers. So if they seen a black writer, then they wouldn't understand, and they would say it wouldn't sell, and then send them off. They would write a black character, but they wouldn't hire black writers because they don't understand it. So yes, you're going to be forced into this politically correct fandom. I'm going to call it fandom because I'm part of that fandom, because it's not our fault that this happened. It's your society fault that made this happen, and now they have to make up for it and make you mad. Be correct is correct. That means there's more people in this area that is correct, especially in this generation. It's like accepting people is fine. You're in the minority now. The unpolitically correct people. You're the minority, so they're not trying to get attached to you. You guys, the comic book industry is kind of failing, and was failing with only white men. So they're trying to make up for it with the people like us that finally got accepted, or accepting our skin and our existence with the social media. You're the minority now. We don't accept just white men. We're gonna make up for the people of color, and then it's gonna pan out, so don't worry. The same white males that was like, oh, you know, tired with the acceptance, was shunning out females, so females was leaving as well, which is why they're bringing more female characters, more black characters, and finally a black woman, because we are the last of the last, next to Native Americans under us. So I hope they bring out a Native American one, because they are the original creators of this land we're on, this Indian burial ground we're on. So for my black supporters and my black allies, my black supporter allies, yeah, this may not last long. Look at Wonder Woman's sister. She was black. Her twin sister was black. Do you see her anymore? No. Do you see her in the movies? No. Did you see the movies? It's full of white women now. When it was multicultural, old, new, black, blue, there was like a lot of people. Now with the posters, it's just white women on it. And where is the colors? Who knows? You're gonna be in the background as usual. This could be the suckiest comic that came out. I'm gonna enjoy it. I seen the art. I love the art. The reason I didn't start She-Hulk was because the art sucked for me. You can say young woman, but don't call her a woman. She's not a woman. Woman is like beyond 21. She's still a teen. Stop calling her a woman. Let's have our youth for once, for goddamn second. Like, soon as black girls like get to age teens, they are deemed as adults and treated as adults and like abused as adults, and we never get to have our childhood. Let us have our childhood. I hope they don't talk about race, because they get that wrong every single time. I'm sure it's gonna pop up, but I hope it's not based on race, because white people don't know how to write about race. They don't. They don't unless they're like a professor in it, or they study it for weeks on end and they're always in the books. But this can't, you will get it wrong. Oh god, the dialects. Who else I can relate to? I can relate to Harry Potter. I can relate to Ron or Hermione, which is black now. Oh. Here is the first page of my coloring book. So head over to patreon.com/HeirOfGlee. As usual, everything is HeirOfGlee. If you just search HeirOfGlee on Google, you'll find very, very, very old photos of my face. Enjoy that. But this is not about my makeup, this is about Patreon. Okay, so head on to my patreon.com/HeirOfGlee. Okay, thank you for support. Alright, love you. I love you. Bye bye.